Next up, let's continue on with our face-off and take a little closer look at the user interface on our two combatants, the HTC Vivid on the left and Samsung's Galaxy S2 for AT&T on the right. And they both run Android 2.3.4 Gingerbread. And on the Vivid, you have HTC Sense 3.0. And on the Galaxy S2, you have Samsung's TouchWiz 4.0. Both phones are going to offer 7 different panels that you can customize, either with, in the case of the Vivid, HTC or Android widgets, application shortcuts, bookmarks, folders, or contact information. On the Galaxy S2, again, you're going to get 7 different panels that you can customize, either with Samsung or Android widgets, application shortcuts, bookmarks, folders, or contact information. One thing that's nice on the, I guess it works on both, I take that back. Both of them go 360 degrees, which is great when going through the different panels. As far as a big difference is going to be the widgets on both. You've got clock and weather, which is 2 separate widgets here. One thing that's sort of nice about that is that these are change size on the Samsung widgets, so there you've got a larger look at weather along with the next 5-day forecast, which is kind of slick. You have a separate weather widget for the Vivid, which you can see here. And again, you can get multiple cities. You'll get multiple cities on both. The weather widget here will actually scroll through the different cities you have set up automatically. And on the Vivid, you can see here, and you also, not only do you get graphics, but you also get sound effects as well. There's a look at some of the weather widgets. As far as the widgets themselves, we'll go here, and the widgets scroll across the bottom, and they're very easy to put on. Simply drag. There we go. And it'll look for a place for it. If it doesn't fit, it won't put it on. Tap widget to confirm. Okay. So again, you can put on a number of widgets per panel and move them around. It's a very easy system, and the widgets scroll across the bottom here. Right to left and left to right, which is a little different than what we've seen before. HTC. Go in here, again hold down, go into widgets. You can see all HTC widgets right here. And we've got a total of 78 to pick from. So there's a look at the widgets on both. Let's go and take a look at the notification systems on both, and you can see I have an email. And both of them have different advantages or disadvantages. Actually, I think HTC offers a little bit more in their notification system. On the Galaxy S2, you get some very nice connectivity manager shortcuts for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, flight mode, screen rotation. Also hit clear than your notifications. On the Vivid, you're going to get the last 8 programs or applications you open, so you've got a shortcut to those, which is nice. You've got your notifications, then all of a sudden down here, you've got quick settings, which are going to give you, again, a shortcut to Wi-Fi, hotspot, mobile network, Bluetooth, GPS, all settings, and memory. And on memory, it actually allows you to go in and close applications. The same is true on the Galaxy S2, but you have to go into Task Manager. But both of them offer this, which is nice. Again, you can kill all on both. And then here you can go in and also clear the RAM as well. So both of them have some nice additions as far as the Task Manager. Again, holding down on the home key will bring up 8 on the Vivid and 6 along with the Task Manager on the Galaxy S2. Also from the home screen, tapping on the home key will give you a 7-panel overview on the Vivid, as you can see here, and tap on anyone as a shortcut. On the Galaxy S2, it's just a matter of pinching the display. So both of them have that shortcut, offer that shortcut, which is very nice. Alright, let's take a look at the main menus in both. And on the Galaxy S2, you're going to go right to left, left to right, and again it goes 360 degrees. On the Vivid, it goes vertically, as you can see here, and it sort of slides one panel at a time with, what do we have, 20 different widgets per panel. And also on the Vivid, you've got all apps, you've got your frequently used apps, and then you've got your downloaded apps. So that's kind of a nice way to set things up. And again, you can edit on both of these, set list view for both, share apps on both, remove apps. To remove an app on the Galaxy S2, simply hold down on it and it'll start jiggling and a little red dot, and just tap on it and it'll remove it. So you can't do that from the main menu. You can also edit, and there you go. You can see tapping on that will remove that application on the Galaxy S2. And you can also move them around and then drag down to the different ones you want to add here at the bottom row. You can also add a folder or add a page as well. So there's a little bit of customization, maybe a little bit more available in the Galaxy S2. As far as scenes and wallpaper, you've got wallpaper on the wallpaper gallery. There's your wallpaper gallery on the Galaxy S2 and your wallpaper gallery. Let them all load on HTC. The other thing that's available on HTC, you do have some more. You've got your personalization key in the lower right hand corner. Change scenes, change skins, wallpaper. Lock screen is something that's very nice. And you can decide which kind of lock you want to use. We'll use weather for right now. Let me go back to that lock screen. And we'll go to weather. And then we go into settings, and you can determine what 4 shortcuts you want to have on your home screen, on your lock screen, which is very nice. And by using voice search, you can simply, don't even have to, just turn your phone on, unlock it through that, and use voice search for commands, which is pretty slick. All right, so there's a look at the 2 interfaces, user interfaces on our 2 combatants today, the HTC Vivid and Galaxy S2. Next up, let's take a look at messaging, and we'll start with the Vivid, and we're going to go into settings because you need to access swipe. It's called Trace Keyboard on the Vivid. You need to go under settings and turn that on, and then you have both your multi-touch and swipe style keypad all set up. And again, on the Galaxy S2, it's just simply a matter of holding down here in your text input area, and we'll take a look at the Android keyboard first. Let's fire this one up. There's the standard along with swipe on the Vivid and our Android keyboard here. Very similar, although you've got punctuation as well as numbers on long press. Here you've only got numbers on long press, but you'd have punctuation available above. Both offer speech to text. One thing though on the Vivid is you have to hold this down to actually get it to go into speech to text, as you can see there. Just pushing on it will change the language settings, where here you can simply tap. Also have a settings key, you can turn that on and off. One thing that is different, you've got numbers and symbols lower left hand corner. It's on the right hand side on the HTC Vivid. Let's see, that I think is about it on that. Both have enter keys. Let's go in and take a look at the swipe so we can compare those two on both. And there we go, there's our swipe keypads. Again, we've got language, we've got speech to text, we have symbols on both. Both offer a long press. You also get a shortcut for a long press for smiley face, which is pretty nice. Let's try call John on Tuesday. And call John on guest, not so close. Let's try it over here. Call John on Tuesday. And call Jim on Tuesday, not too bad. So both of them worked pretty well. Again, I'm not a big swipe person. What I typically do for our meeting next Wednesday, our meeting next Wednesday, 4-hour meeting, got it? 4-hour meeting next Wednesday. 4-hour meeting next one. Both of them handled speech to text quite well, so that works well. Let's see if we can take a look at attachments on both. I think I'm going to have to address this to get this to do attachments. I'll put myself up there and we'll open up attachments. We've got picture, video, audio, application recommendation, location, contact vCard, appointment vCard, picture capture, picture video. So we've got shortcuts to gallery on both as well as the cameras on both for audio, record audio, locations, calendar. So we've got a little bit more available on the Galaxy S2 as far as attachments versus the HTC Vivid. And then let's take a look at the keypads and landscape on both as well. And get those situated for you. And there's a look at the keypads and landscape on both. All right, let's wrap up today's face-off with our browser comparison between the HTC Vivid, which offers AT&T's LTE 4G connectivity, and the Samsung Galaxy S2, which runs on AT&T's HSPA Plus 4G connectivity or network. I've got both of the cache and history cleared on both combatants. I have them both running off the same Wi-Fi network. I have flash fully enabled on both. So what do you say we go into bookmarks and let's head over to Engadget and we're off. I think I actually tapped on the Vivid first, but let's see what happens. Looks like a pretty even race anyway. And again, flash is fully enabled on both. It was the Vivid first, and even with a little bit of a head start, it was still definitely quicker than the Galaxy S2, although not a little bit sticky when I first started scrolling with it. Galaxy S2 again, as you can see, it's just a tiny little tap on the display to scroll the entire page. Quite a bit smoother. Also notice a little rendering difference. You actually get the text underneath the pictures whereas it's pushed off to the left on the HTC Vivid. Alright, so there we go. There's a look at same story on both. One thing that's nice is as you can see, HTC dynamically rewraps the text. On the Galaxy S2, it's just like mine, the Euro version. It will not rewrap other than when you double tap to zoom in. It works fine and you can control the level either near, far, or medium, which is where it is now, I believe. But the Vivid does rewrap, which I think is a very nice add-on that is missing from the Galaxy S2. Other than that, the Galaxy S2 does feel a bit smoother. Not a bit, it's definitely smoother when scrolling the page. As you can see here, as far as rendering, again, once you double tap and zoom in, the rendering of the text to the far left on the Vivid disappears and it renders everything just fine, as you can see here. A little difference in the displays too. You've got QHD resolution on the Vivid, 800 by 480 on the, or 480 by 800 on the Galaxy S2. All right, let's head over to Smartphoneenvy and see what happens there. And there it is, and we're off. Hopefully they both go to the desktop site. Looks like the Galaxy S2 is in a hurry on this one. Here comes the Vivid. That's pretty close. Who's going to pull it out? Neck and neck. It looks like the Galaxy S2 has more loaded. Yep, Galaxy S2 took that. See how smooth it is. You can see it just barely touched it. And the Vivid is now done. And you can see it's just not as smooth. And again, we get the text rendering pushed to the left. We double tap and zoom in and zoom back out. It seems to fix it at that point. Again, it's smooth. Once you've started it, no issues, but the Galaxy S2 is smooth from the get. So I guess we're going to have to go to one more site or one more story or something since we've got a tie on both. Again, let's double tap to zoom in. As far as sensitivity, you can see both of them pinch to zoom, very sensitive, so absolutely no issues there. We'll go from read more right here and we're off. See who pulls this up. Again, looks like the Galaxy S2 is going to take it. I don't know. They both downloaded the email while they were loading the page, so that portion is fair. Again, they're both running off the same Wi-Fi network. One thing you can do with the Galaxy S2, which you can't do with most, as you see I just pushed it down gingerly to scroll to the top of the page. Most smartphones won't do that when they're loading a web page. Boy, we're both just choking on something here. Looks like the Galaxy S2 has got everything loaded. Oh no, we're missing the... Okay, this says it's done, but it's not, because there's a flash. Here it comes the flash from Amazon. And we're going to give the speed test goes to the HTC Vivid, which if it was running off AT&T's LTE versus the HSPA Plus from the Galaxy S2 would be the case as well. So there's our browser comparison, and again, as far as download speeds, running off the same Wi-Fi network, it was the HTC Vivid was our winner, 2 out of 3. As far as quality or user experience, the Galaxy S2 is definitely smoother when scrolling pages, but it is missing the dynamic rewrap that you get on HTC devices, which is very nice for browsing. Anyway, this is Craig for Smartphoneenvy. I hope this has been helpful. Take care.